The restaurant hummed with quiet chatter, clinking glasses, and the soft strum of a guitar. Ethan sat by the window, checking his watch for the 5th time. His blind date was 30 minutes late. He'd even Googled how long to wait before leaving. The answer said 20 minutes, but his heart said 10 more. He smiled awkwardly at the waitress when she refilled his water. "She'll be here soon," he said, mostly to convince himself. Then, the door swung open. Everyone turned slightly, expecting a latecomer rushing in. But instead, a little girl, maybe 7, stepped inside. She had tangled hair, a bright pink jacket, and a paper in her hand. She walked straight to his table. "Are you Mr. Ethan?" she asked, out of breath. He blinked, confused. Yes?" She smiled, proud of herself. "My mommy's sorry she's late. She had to help a lady with her car. She said to tell you she's coming soon." The restaurant softened. Conversations hushed. The waitress smiled. Ethan felt something shift inside him, the frustration melting away. He pulled out a chair. "Well, messenger of your mommy, would you like to sit while we wait?" She grinned and climbed up. "Can I have lemonade?" Ethan laughed, waving to the waitress. For the first time that night, the empty seat across from him didn't feel empty anymore. 15 minutes later, the door chimed again. Ethan turned, and there she was. Her dark hair was damp from the rain, her coat clinging to her shoulders, cheeks flushed from rushing. The little girl jumped up from her chair. "Mommy!" The woman's eyes widened when she saw her daughter already sitting at the table, sipping lemonade. "Oh my gosh, Lily! I told you to wait by the door." Ethan stood quickly, trying not to laugh. "She delivered your message perfectly," he said, smiling. "And ordered lemonade like a professional." The woman covered her face, embarrassed. "I am so sorry. This isn't how I wanted to make a first impression." "It's actually the best one I've ever had," Ethan said gently. She looked up then, really looked at him. Something softened in her eyes, a mix of exhaustion and gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. They sat down. The tension faded as laughter replaced awkward silence. Lily drew smiley faces on napkins, proudly announcing she was Ethan's date assistant. Halfway through dinner, the waitress returned with the bill, smiling. "A lady at another table already paid for your meal," she said. They turned, an older woman waved from across the room before walking out. "That was my boss," the woman murmured, surprised. "I helped her when her car broke down earlier. I didn't know she'd be here." Ethan grinned. "Seems like kindness circles back faster than we think." As Lily giggled, dipping her fries into ketchup hearts, Ethan realized, maybe this wasn't just a blind date. Maybe it was a beginning born from someone else's small act of good. The rain tapped gently on the restaurant window as the night stretched on. The laughter had softened now, replaced by quiet, easy conversation. "So," Ethan said, stirring his coffee. "You helped your boss fix her car before coming here. That's impressive." She smiled shyly. "Honestly, I just handed her the wrench. I used to help my dad in his garage before he passed. Guess it stuck." Ethan nodded, sensing the heaviness beneath her calm tone. "That's really kind of you." She looked down at her hands. "Kindness doesn't always come easy when life's messy. I almost canceled tonight." "Why didn't you?" he asked. Her eyes flicked toward Lily, who was now drawing a picture of a smiling family. "Because she told me I should try again. That I deserve to smile too." Ethan felt something tighten in his chest. He'd gone on enough dates that felt hollow, but this was different. It wasn't about perfection. It was about real people just trying their best. Lily proudly slid her drawing across the table. "Look. It's you, Mommy, and the nice man." They both laughed. But then, Ethan noticed, in the drawing, there was a sun above them, and a tiny message in wobbly handwriting, "Be happy again." Her eyes shimmered. "She draws that a lot," she whispered. After her dad left, she started adding suns to everything. "Says it makes things brighter." Ethan looked at the picture, then at the woman, her courage, her warmth, her quiet strength. "Maybe she's right," he said softly. "Sometimes, a little light is all we need." Outside, the rain had stopped. Inside, something else had started, fragile, hopeful, and unexpectedly real. When they stepped out of the restaurant, the night air was cool, fresh from the rain. Streetlights shimmered on the wet pavement. Ethan offered his umbrella, but the woman shook her head, smiling. "We're used to walking home. It's just a few blocks." He hesitated. "At least let me walk you." Lily grabbed his hand before her mother could reply. "Yes. Come see our street. It has sparkly puddles." They walked slowly, talking between laughter and small silences. The neighborhood grew quieter, humbler. When they reached their building, a narrow, aging complex with flickering lights, Ethan realized how much she'd been holding together on her own. "This is us," she said, stopping at the steps. "Thank you, for tonight. I didn't think it would mean so much." He smiled. "It meant a lot to me too." As she turned to go, Lily tugged his sleeve. "Wait." She rummaged through her little backpack and pulled out her drawing, the one with the three of them and the sun. "Here," she said. "You can have it. So you don't forget." Ethan crouched down, taking the crayon-smudged paper like it was something precious. "I won't," he promised. When they disappeared inside, he stood there for a moment, staring at the picture under the streetlight. Something inside him stirred, an ache, but also warmth. The next morning, he slipped that drawing into a small wooden frame and placed it on his desk. Then he picked up his phone, typed a message, and smiled. "Ethan, dinner again? My treat. And tell Lily I owe her a lemonade." He hit send, feeling lighter than he had in years, like maybe kindness could really start new chapters. A week later, the same restaurant buzzed with Friday night laughter. Ethan waited again at the window table, but this time, he wasn't nervous. The framed crayon drawing sat beside his glass, a small, bright reminder of how everything had begun. The door opened. Lily ran in first, her pink jacket bouncing, followed by her mother, smiling shyly. "We're not late this time," she teased. "Right on time," Ethan said, grinning. He held out the little drawing. "Your artwork has been keeping me company all week." Lily giggled. "Did it make you happy?" He nodded. "Every single day." Dinner flowed easily, laughter threading through their words. It wasn't a date that tried to impress, it was one that felt like coming home. Afterward, they walked by the park. Lily ran ahead, spinning in the grass while her mother and Ethan followed. "You didn't have to keep asking us out," she said softly. "We're kind of a package deal." "That's exactly why I did," he said. "You both make life brighter." She looked at him for a long moment, then smiled, the kind of smile that comes from hope finding its way back. As they stood there under the lamplight, Lily's laughter echoing in the air, Ethan realized how one missed dinner had led to everything he didn't know he was searching for. Sometimes, the most beautiful connections don't begin perfectly, they begin honestly. He reached out his hand. "Ready for round 3? She took it. "Only if there's lemonade." Ethan laughed, glancing toward the little girl dancing in the light. "Deal." And as they walked together into the quiet night, it felt less like a second date, and more like the start of forever.